Hi everybody, I'm Elijah.
Hi, I'm Philo.
Today we'll be talking about an important person in our Christian faith. He's not one of the chosen disciples, but one of the chosen 70 apostles.
Why was St. Mark one of the chosen 70 apostles?
St. Mark's the evangelist mom opened her house to Jesus whenever he was alive. And Jesus and his disciples did the Passover in her house. Also, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples and also did one of the big 7 sacraments with his disciples, communion, which he gave his disciples the blood and the body. Also, after Jesus resurrected in his mom's house, the Holy Spirit descended on his disciples.
How did Christian faith spread in Egypt?
St. Mark entered Alexandria after many trips and his sandals torn. He went to a shoemaker named Ennianos to fix. While Ennianos was fixing his shoes, the needle pierced his hands, and he cried out, saying, "O one God." St. Mark got up, healed him, and preached to him and his family about Jesus Christ. Then he anointed him as bishop. St. Mark also anointed 3 priests and 7 deacons.
The pagan population grew to dislike St. Mark. So St. Mark was forced out of Alexandria, and whenever he came back during 65 AD, he realized that the Christian faith grew rapidly, and he wanted to see if the other cities also had flourished Christian faith.
How did St. Mark get martyred?
At the same time of Easter, the Egyptians were celebrating a feast of one of their gods named Serapis. It was at this time that the pagans wanted to kill St. Mark. So while St. Mark was praying, they attacked him, dragging him around all of Alexandria. At the evening, they entrapped him in a dark, cold prison. And then the next day, they pulled him again through the city, and he died.
Hey guys, can I ask you a question?
Of course!
Why is there a lion in St. Mark's icon?
St. Mark and his father was walking in the wilderness when they encountered a lion, and God sent one of his angels to close the mouth of the lion.
The Gospel of St. Mark begins with the words, "The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight."
See